This is sports stuff. Betting stuff.
No ka-chow.
Sad Kachow.
That
Oof,
ka-chow.
oof.
Very, very sad Kachow. It was not a good week.
No, this is
It
like
was it was
not fun because it's us.
like one of us usually has one of these, but for both of us, and then a third person to not have a winning record, this is one of the worst.
Right? The
We went
Dirge. We did not have any easy money this week. It's
No,
for damn sure.
no money.
bad poo poo.
So
Bad.
after many weeks, 3, 4 weeks of all of us having winning records, actually 3 or 4 weeks really of the public dominating the sports books fired back.
They
Last week, I
bit
think
they bit us.
Yeah, last week I think we were on the good side still, but I think the sports books were starting to turn the corner on the public's domination. And this past weekend, the public got smacked in the face.
Yeah.
And we, as the public, also got smacked in the face. So we're going to get into that briefly. We have to talk about our losses. To be a legitimate sports betting podcast, we have to talk about the good and the bad. And this week
Yeah,
was
we tried to
definitely the
skip the
bad.
episode, but Muff said no.
Mm-hmm.
There was discussion. There may even be continue to be a discussion that, oh my God, the first 15 minutes of the podcast just magically disappeared. There may still be some lobbying for that later,
There could be
but alas, we are here. Our exclusive betting app is
FanDuel.
FanDuel, who got a lot richer.
Fan. The FanDuel did get richer off us this weekend.
And you know what? I'm glad we brought that up because FanDuel said that they would have promotions every like Saturday for college football. The only thing FanDuel offered my ass was the damn LSU game, and that was it.
That's promotion.
They used to offer like up until this week they were offering like three,
Well, then they
four
started
games,
losing.
and now they went broke, and they're like, well, we're not doing that no more.
Can you blame them? In a business, as someone in the business world, can you
Oh,
blame?
you're not wrong. It was smart, but like FanDuel, come on, man, help a
Be with
brother out.
be with us in the good and bad times. We
Yeah,
we stick with you. You need to stick with us.
stick with us.
We will get into last week's best bets, our specialty picks, get into the NFL and college football world this week. But before we do so, let's make sure that we introduce everybody to our totems, our tokens, our items of good luck. We will start with
First,
the Ohio Homer, the Ohio Degenerate, and the Capo of the Midwest Crack House, Jim.
I'm riding with the Ohio State hat with the flag on the bottom. I am a big fan of the hat, even though it let me down.
So it's the hat's problem when it goes poorly, but it's your
It, it,
it's your celebration when it goes well.
the hat is good when it's good, and it's bad when it's bad.
It's
So it's
like
like a Big
Kansas
12
State.
team.
Exactly.
Good when
Thank
it's
you,
good,
Alex.
bad when it's bad.
Thank
So you
you.
can understand, Jim.
I get it now. Yeah.
It's awesome. Next, we have the medical degenerate, another half of the original degenerate crew. Alex,
That's me. My totem is my tie-dye Ogilvy golf hat that was my grandfather's. And even though we had a bad week, we're gonna ride with it because, well, if we dip much more below 500 on the year, we're gonna have to talk about. I have another one I can whip out if I need to. I don't know if we can change up styles or designs.
that's on you. This is your item of good luck.
I
It's
know,
not for us to choose.
I know. TBD. We'll
All
see how
right.
this goes.
And I'm Muff, another half of the original degenerate crew. Alex and I started this out originally. Jim has continued to be part of the degenerate situation here. My totem token item of good luck is my West Virginia conductor cap.
Choo choo.
Choo choo. It started out not great, and then we went on a run, and we just sustained this week. That's about the best I can say. It's
That's true. You
sustained.
didn't. You didn't win. You didn't lose. You just existed.
I lost units, right? Because 3-3 isn't going to be a positive money week, but
Sure.
my record stated at least about where it was.
Sure.
Um, Alex, I will ask again. We will be going to the WU Baylor game this week. Is this hat in style, or should I just wear something else?
I would probably wear something else.
Okay.
If I were you, that's what I would choose to do, but I won't not be seen with you in it. It's not that bad. I just think that you could do better from a style
Is
point.
this like a late night at a bar? I'm not going to
Yeah,
say no, but it's
it's
possible that you could do
fun for
better.
the show.
Jim, not going to jump on that. This is usually your area to jump into this conversation.
I'm not. I have no room to knock on that. Like I went over, man. I can't really talk shit this week.
I was talking about the discussion that just ensued about.
I thought we were still talking about the hat and whether it's appropriate. I don't want to mess with it.
All right, let's get into last week's recap. I went 3-3, bringing my overall record to 41-28, or a 594 winning percentage. My losses were Iowa UCLA did not go over 44 and a half, even though after the first half it looked very promising. BYU did not cover 2.5 at Utah. They won, just did not cover. And the Steelers Commanders went over the 45 and a half, which was really interesting to me because both teams had like 15-yard short fields to get touchdowns, and they of course scored touchdowns on all of those short fields. If not for that, I think that was really in play. Um, my wins were Colorado to cover 4.5 at Texas Tech, Penn State to cover 13.5 hosting Washington in the whiteout, and the Bills to cover 3.5 at Dakota. Next is Jim, who was second best or next to worst, depending on
Sure.
how we want to think about this, because he just didn't have as many losses as
Slightly
Alex.
less bad.
He did less bad than Alex only because he had one less loss.
I lost the Iowa at UCLA over 44 and a half. Oregon didn't cover the 24 and a half over Maryland. BYU, as Muffin stated, did not cover against Utah. The Falcons lost, I believe, to the Saints, so they didn't cover, and the Lions didn't cover against the Texans,
Close cigar.
Still won. Just the
but
hook,
did
the hook,
not
the hook
cover.
gotcha.
Yep.
For those that were following along, that was 0 for 5 for Jim, bringing him to 44-36 at a 550 winning percentage.
When you rub it in like that, it
I was
still
just
hurts.
gonna say that was a little low.
Like,
I mean, you
damn,
weren't going to say it, so again, I had to feel like I had to give an
you had
update
to
on
rub it in.
I
I
had to give
I
an
get it.
update on the overall record. I feel like
Well, you
that
didn't need to say that I went 0 for 5. You could just give the overall record, couldn't you? You didn't need to just rub the salt. That was uncalled
Alex
for.
went 0 for 6 for a 34-35 overall record now for a 493 winning percentage. Alex, tell us how we got to 0 and 6.
Then why'd you have to do him dirty? That's again.
Well, we lost 6 games. That's how we got to 0 and 6.
Right. I mean, God bless.
I lost Iowa minus 5.5 at UCLA. I lost Vanderbilt plus 4.5 for South Carolina. I lost BYU minus 2.5 at Utah, Vikings minus 7 at the Jags, Falcons minus 3.5 at Saints, and Lions minus 3.5 at the Texans.
Those were our best bets, and collectively, maybe our worst week ever as a collective unit.
Yeah, I think so.
Think we can safely say that. I don't even know if we need to do the research. I think that's true, and it did not get any better in our specialty picks. Starting off with the
Oh
Mike
no, that
All
was the other
Stott
thing.
hit stick pick of the week.
Kapow, pow, pow.
We got Kapow Pow Powd as we took BYU minus 2.5 at Utah. That was an L, brings the hit stick pick to 7-4 for the season. In the Midwest Mobster Risky pick of the week,
Get
Get
out
out
of
of here.
here.
we got out of here. This was This was a selection by elimination because there weren't many others to consider. We went with Vanderbilt Moneyline hosting South Carolina. That was a loss. Brings the hits or the risky pick to 5-6 for the year. And in the sell the nutting team, Bob parlay,
Uh,
Oof.
after multiple weeks leading up to ultimate victory last week or 2 weeks ago, I get this at this point with the parlay. We had a bit of a regression. We didn't lose every game, but we lost almost all of the games. BYU is the hit stick pick was in there. The Falcons to cover 3.5 was in there. Lions to cover 3.5. Jim wanted to make sure we made distinction that this was a lights pick. Um, Jim's pick through the light, I should say. Is that the best way to put that?
Yes.
And the only win was my contribution this week, which I had been the weak link in other weeks, was Bills to cover 3.5 at the Colts. Which just brings us into the refresh. Wax
Yeah.
on, wax
Let's
off,
go.
boys.
Let's
Wax
go. Let's
on,
not
wax
have
off.
no
Yeah,
negativity, baby.
let's start fresh.
Clean slate. Things
Yeah,
happen, but we're not going to dwell on them.
nope.
That's
In
right.
the NFL this week, starting on Thursday night, Amazon Prime Football, hosted by Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels. The Commanders at the Eagles. Eagles favored by 3.5 over under 48.5.
I would lean the Eagles, gun to my head. I'm a little gun shy though on the Thursday night, so I'm staying the hell away. But I would lean the Eagles.
Alex?
I'm the opposite way. I lead in the Commanders here.
And this is why.
We
Another
stay
prime
away.
example why we're going to stay away. This is a good matchup for Thursday Night Football. Don't get me wrong. I was listening to some betting aficionados today. We're recording on Wednesday, so I was listening to a podcast this morning, and there's a lot of discussion about how the Commanders' defense is in question right now. Not their offense, but their defense, and the Eagles could be primed for a breakout game. But it is Thursday, and we are staying away, and I agree with you both. We're staying away. I'm not even going to give my lean because then that will prompt me to consider taking the game, and that's not worth it.
It's good. It's good.
So we're going to get into Sunday football. We have no international games this week, so regular 1 p.m. starts on the East Coast. Jaguars at the Lions. Lions favored by a whopping 13.5 points. 46.5 is the point line.
Hmm.
Is this a we didn't win last week, so we don't feel obligated to win to take them this week?
I'm waiting on my boy.
There is a part of me that feels that way. Um, but there's also a part of me that says Dan Campbell's the kind of guy that's like, hey, we didn't look great last week. Drop him out on the table, boys. I'm gonna save my decision for the end.
Oh,
Teaser.
teaser.
Teaser on the Lions. Make sure that you listen to the end to figure out what Alex is thinking. Jim, are you just gonna follow if Alex goes and don't if Alex doesn't?
That's right.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that's where we stood. Uh,
That's right.
Next, we have the Packers at the Bears. Packers favored by 5.5, over under 40.5.
I'm pretty confident here on the Packers. I think I'm going to hammer this one.
I
Don't
am
knock
also
you for
leaning
that.
that way, Jim. I'm not going to lock it in, but I am in agreement with you. Uh, the Bears at this point are even being discussed in the sports media world, and there may be even some anonymous players that are coming out saying maybe it's time to give Caleb Williams a rest and put in Bajan.
Yeah.
Not that Williams isn't the quarterback of the future, but like, oh, buddy's getting rocked sometimes. He just may need a
Yeah.
week off to
Yeah.
not just go into early retirement after year one. So yeah, I'm definitely leaning that way, Jim. I may ultimately lock it in, but I stand with your confidence there.
I'm leaning towards a possibility here. I'm gonna see where things shake out in the end.
Next, we have the Rams at the Patriots. Rams favored by 4.5, over under 43.5. Until further notice, I'm gonna stay away from the Rams.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why you didn't do that earlier.
Well, to be honest, I think the Rams were a covering machine. I think they were like 6, 7-2 up, and they lost this past week. They
I
didn't
know.
cover.
But the Patriots aren't that good.
They have Drake May, and Drake May is one of the more impressive rookie quarterbacks at this point.
Yeah, I don't want anything to do with this. I'm staying away. Too crazy.
Too crazy. I'm gonna stay away as well. Alex?
All right, no,
You were thinking Rams, weren't you?
I was saying Rams, but now I'm stressed. I'm always having fun until I go over, and now I'm stressed.
Just gotta pull the trigger, Alex. I think this is when you need to employ Jim's shotgun blast strategy and just even if it's not the best thing for this week, at least you get back in the saddle.
I feel like that might be terrible advice. We'll see how it goes.
Real in this, I'm not saying this. I understand this fits a narrative and a potential agenda for me. Did we decide at the beginning of the year that there was a friendly wager between
Listen to
us?
this motherfucker. Get the fuck out of here right now. Hey, you guys just got off over first. We putting money on this?
Oh, no, no,
I
no.
feel
I
like
asked if there was a confirmed friendly wager at the
I
beginning.
think there was.
That's all. That's why I asked if it was confirmed at the
I was
beginning of the year.
there was.
I'm
I
not
don't
going to
remember
explain.
confirming shit.
Oh, I understand that you're not going to remember anything right now,
I don't remember
but you'll
nothing.
remember it if you pass me up.
I'll remember it if I get a winning week this week. How about that? How about we talk next week?
Listen, you can't choose to remember when it
You
suits
can't
your.
choose to remember either when
I
we're
just
both on offers.
I asked if we made the wager. I was not
I
saying
bet you
I we
did.
did. Just curious if we did.
I bet you are curious.
Listen, I'm a
When when me and
curious
poor
human.
Alex are in the gutters.
It's just seemed like an appropriate time to ask.
I bet it was appropriate in your mind.
Because if you guys have 2 weeks in a row like this,
Yeah,
I
you're sitting
mean,
pretty.
just mail it in and just give me the monies.
All right. Go pound sand. On
Easy
to the next
money.
pick.
This is just like me and Baltimore Guru Keith and golf. Just send it on over through Venmo, buddy. Browns at the Saints. Saints favored by 1.5, over under 44.5.
And you're hitting Keith too? Like
I
you're
mean,
just
Keith,
wiping out all your friends.
that's, listen, there's some days you just gotta go and just let it all hang out. And this is one of those days. I'm like Dan Campbell and just plop them on the table. Here we go.
I don't want anything to do with this Brown Saints game.
I I gotta imagine I should be leaning the Saints just because the Browns are that god awful, and at least the Saints have Derek Carr back, for good or for bad for his wide receivers' health. He is back.
Yeah.
They're at least competent offensively when he's at quarterback. But yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna mess with it. Alex,
Mm, no, definitely not.
you were thinking about it, aren't you?
Definitely not.
You get a
I've
little
been
crazy over there.
I've leaned some way in all of the games we've talked about.
I don't feel
Uh,
good about you right now. I'm worried.
Feeling like a
I'm
lot.
actually, you know what? I just talked myself into it. I'm going
Oh
to
boy.
I'm going to strongly consider the Saints to cover. It's on the card just like the Packers, but it is not locked in. T
Oh boy.
T
Mm,
Vikings at Titans. Vikings favored by 5.5 over to 39.5. I am also
don't.
going to take the Vikings off of any potential bets until otherwise
I'm
stated.
just gonna say, don't let me bet the Vikings for 2 weeks.
Jim?
They're in
Oh, I
punishment.
don't want anything to do with that.
Okay.
They're in timeout for 2 weeks.
They're in timeout like Lizzo for us.
Yes,
All right.
agreed.
I don't know if I should say her name. I feel like it's going to be a problem
Yeah,
for
now you're in trouble.
gonna be a problem for the podcast and
You're about to get fat shamed.
For our Spotify channel. Well, Jim, I don't think that's where I was going with that. In
That's
fact,
what
I
she
know it's not
does. That's what she does.
just because I spoke her name.
Yep.
Okay.
That's
Uh,
what that's how she fell from grace, man.
make us famous, Lizzo, I guess. I mean, if we're gonna get famous, we got to start somewhere. Sometimes negative publicity is the only publicity.
Which is funny because we're talking about the Minnesota Vikings. So
That's
like
exactly why I brought it up. Colts at Jets. Jets favored by 3.5, over under 43.5.
leaning the Colts.
I'm not gonna sit here and say anything. The Jets defense, I was same podcast talking about how ever since Robert Saleh left, a defense that was once thought formidable has become Swiss cheese.
I think that this is a silly gym pick, and I'm here for it.
I've done some reading. Richardson's back. I've done a little bit of recon on this. Like Muff said, that defense is not great. The Jets are wounded, and I'm getting 3.5 here.
Richardson confirmed starting.
Yep,
That can go either way.
I know.
This could be, you could look like a genius. You could look like a fool. I hope that you look like a genius, but he could also go out after 2 snaps.
You're right.
Call in
You're
the
right.
reinforcements. I'm tired, boys. Call him in. I'm tired.
I don't think he taps out ever again.
If, if he does, he may as well just tap
Just
out of the
pack it up.
game and back it up. He's not going to get signed
Pack
by
it up.
anybody. Um, yeah, I'm staying away. Raiders at Dolphins. Dolphins favored by 7, over under 44.5. Boys, this is the first pick I'm locking in. Give me the Dolphins -7.
I think you take the L there. I'm staying away.
Uh, the Raiders have been shite. Dolphins, I think, are ready to fully bust out, get it going. Antonio Pierce people are questioning his job as a head coach, and that he was maybe one of the most perfect fits for interim as a motivation and quick culture guy. Let's get it going, but does not have the staying power as a head coach. I think that this continues in this game.
I think you take the L on this one.
Uh, I think right now your opinion means less to me than it did last week.
You're a
Wow.
dick. You're a dick.
I mean, it's fair, but
I gotta get these jabs in while I can because this could be me next week. So you guys can give it right back if I'm in your shoes next week. So I gotta get it in while I can. Ravens at Steelers. Ravens -3, over under 48.5. Alex, we'll start with Alex.
no.
Alex, we need an opinion somewhere along the line here, bud.
Steel Steelers +3 is my opinion.
Is that a pick or a lean?
I'm not picking the Steelers. I don't pick.
That's
I
right.
I would put the Steelers up for the money line dog.
But aren't willing to put him up +3.
I don't like to bet on them myself.
Yeah, you know.
It's got like
Um, Jim, your thoughts, and then I'll give mine.
I think I like the Steelers. Lamar is 1-3 against the Steelers. It's in Steel Town. I like the Steelers here. I lean the Steelers.
Yeah, this is the Steelers getting into the heart of their schedule. I think over the last, where we're looking at the last third to half of the season, the Steelers have the toughest schedule in the NFL, mainly because they play all of their division opponents. This is the Steelers' first division game.
I was gonna
Uh,
say it seems like a really weird season because every week I expect like, oh, we have to be playing the Browns, Bengals, or Ravens, and every week it's been knocked.
so I think is this is one of those spots where it was going to be a good game no matter what. The Steelers have demonstrated that they are going to be in any game. I think right now the Steelers' culture is at an all-time high, not just because of Mike Tomlin, but it seems like the players are invested. And I'm not saying the Ravens players are not invested, but I think the Steelers have a more cohesive unit at the moment. So if I were to pick, I would lean Steelers plus the points. But this is just one of those games I want to watch. I don't want to have a dog in this fight.
Fair.
Seahawks at 49ers. 49ers favored by 6.5, over under 48.5. Newsflash, Christian McCaffrey played. Christian McCaffrey's still good. People said he only had like 130 all-purpose yards. So we're not sure if he's back. Screw those
Oh,
people.
yeah, they're done.
They're dumb. Give me the 49ers to cover. Lock it in.
You hate Gino.
I just don't love him.
The hell of a jump. Hell of a jump. I'm here for it, but a hell of a jump.
Because
Yeah,
I bet it. I think I've won all of my bets against the Seahawks this year.
whatever. You're a hater.
Is it hating if it's true,
Yep.
or is that just affirmed observation?
All right. Well, I'm not betting against them, but I don't knock you for doing it.
Okay, Jim.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm leaning. We'll see
You
how
guys
college
are both
football
in
goes.
this. You guys are both in this weird funk right now. And again, I
Hey, Muff, we
understand.
went over. Jesus.
I'm
It's
trying to help you rip the Band-Aid off and just do
No,
some
you're not.
stuff.
You're
I'm
trying to
afraid to
fucking kill
commit.
us after you're telling us, hey, don't we bet on this? Why don't you bet some more?
I have commitment issues now.
Listen, if you bet 10 games,
If you
it's
bet a
just
lot of games, you might win them all.
it's just
Shut up,
increase
Muff.
it's
Shut
increasing
up and
your
move on to
odds.
the next game.
Is that
You're
not
not
your
going to rope
normal
us in.
strategy, Jim?
That has not been. If you follow the trends, I have played very nice. I have not shotgun blasted. I've let you tell people I have, but I played the numbers well. And I'm above 500. So tell me how to bet. I've done well. You're not going to rope me in with your razzle dazzle bullshit.
Alex, can you be razzle-dazzled?
Not right now.
Okay.
We'll
Falcons at
see. I
Broncos.
might be able to be razzle dazzled. It's really still
I'm
TBD.
gonna catch Alex on Saturday, Jim. That's my time to razzle-dazzle Alex.
Right. Not
Oh boy.
smoke and mirror and me, motherfucker.
What happened to $300?
Oh no, I wouldn't do that dirty.
Yeah.
That would be your problem if you did that.
That's true.
Falcons at Broncos. Broncos minus 2.5 over under 44.5.
The Broncos catch teams, and I'm not confident in the Falcons, so I'm staying away.
That's what makes me nervous.
What I just said, or
The Broncos catch teams.
you staying away? Have you put an NFL game on your slate? Like, what are you talking about?
I told you I'm kind of working on it.
Oh, okay. You're just not telling the fans. You're gonna be a big tease. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I'm a big tease.
I'm about it. I'm not gonna try to razzle dazzle you like Muff. You do you, buddy.
Thanks.
Chiefs at the Bills. Bills favored by 2.5 over under 46.5. I'm going nowhere near this game. You
Why
should want to.
not, Muff? Why not? You should want to. Don't tell us. You should want to.
I'll tell you
You
what
should
I'm.
want to.
I'll tell
Don't
you
tell
what.
me what I should.
Am I allowed to talk, or are you just gonna?
No. If I block out your voodoo, you can't rope us in.
Then I can't pick either, and then you're gonna get mad at me anyway. Catch
Why
22.
don't you not pick and you just tease us like Alex is? Get on his path. Bengals at the Chargers.
We're not going to
Chargers.
talk about probably one of the games of the
No, because you're
week.
trying to trick us.
The reality is, everyone should want to be on the Chiefs plus the points.
I feel like the over here.
It's not a bad pick.
That would be fun. And at this point, I'm looking for fun in my life.
You're here for fun.
Yeah, I'm like Neil Brown. We're just
Ladies, did you hear that? Alex is here for fun.
did you like it? I'm here for a good time.
You can find him in Morgantown on
Call,
Saturday.
call for a good time.
8004. Who are you, Mike Jones? Bengals at Chargers in Sunday Night Football. Chargers favored by 1.5 over under 47.5.
That's a shitty, shitty Sunday night football game.
Oh, get out of here.
Please elaborate.
Joey B's feeling dangerous against Mr. Kaki himself. I think we're gonna have a lot of fire here. A lot of points scored.
Do you feel like somehow this is Ohio State versus Michigan?
I do.
I know. I knew you were going to say that. Joe Burrow is not Ohio State.
I do.
He graduated from LSU, Jim.
I'm rooting for Joey B in this one.
That's fair. I'm not gonna begrudge that. I do not have a side to lean here. Um, if anything, I would lean, we'll say under. Sunday Night Football. Chargers are able to control the game a little bit better. Joey B
Yeah.
doesn't put up all the points. Um, I would say under. But
Hmm.
alas, I will not go with it. And in Monday Night Football, Texans at Cowboys at Jerry World. Texans favored by 7.5. Over under 42.5.
I like the Texans.
Boys, give me it. Give me the Texans to cover 7.5. I don't even care that it's a 7.5. I want every bit of it.
Yeah, I feel strongly about it.
This is an anti-Cowboys pick.
Muff is razzle dazzling us. That's a spike pick, ladies and gentlemen. That is a spike pick.
What am I
Do we want to
spiting?
get on board with that?
What am I spiting?
When you call it anti-Cowboys, that feels spite.
This would be like earlier in the season whenever we should have been betting against the Panthers every week. I think the
Well, it doesn't
Cowboys are
count as a spite pick for me because I was picking it before Muff razzle dazzled with the
You're
spite.
not wrong. You're not wrong. I did hear you first. So maybe it only bites Muff.
we both bet it. I'm the only one that loses it somehow.
Hopefully.
Alex, I don't think that's possible, is it? If we both have the same line,
We'll
You know, I
see.
think that I think that we either go together or separately.
I think we're in this one together, Jim.
We'll see. We'll see. Look at him now. He's trimming the fat. That's just a game he plays with us. Look at the way he's doing his picks. He starts trimming the. He's like, "You should do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this." And he trims it down, and then we don't pay attention at the end. He's like, "I got 3 picks."
Very mixed.
First off, first off, what you're alluding to is the fact that I just took out the Saints to cover, which I said was not locked in by any means.
He plays games with our hearts, ladies and gentlemen.
I play games with your eyes.
He suckers the dummies.
Did you just call yourself a dummy?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Just want to make sure that I was not responsible for calling you a dummy. You did that
You
to
were not.
yourself.
Exactly.
He didn't realize what he was doing. Just let him be.
No, I knew exactly what I was doing.
Okay.
Go ahead. Let's get on to the college football slate here.
Let's get into the college football world. Alex,
Let's get into the show.
let's, how about you take this? You and Jim figure out how you guys want to do this. That way I can't be accused of baiting.
Number 25 at Navy, Tulane would be number 25. Tulane's minus 6.5, over under 52.5.
Was an interesting way to announce it.
Hey, he gave me the
It is.
reins.
You're right. You're right. My bad. It's your.
What do we think here?
I think I have nothing to offer. I don't know anything about either of these teams.
Yeah, I'm probably going to pass on this one.
I just.
Alex,
What?
what do you think?
Um. I yeah. I don't know enough about either of them. I know Navy was good at the beginning, and then they fell some. So like,
I'm gonna say what sometimes is said to me. Why the hell is this game in here?
I thought the same thing, so I'm going to
I
leave
don't
that
know.
be.
I didn't know. When I was making the notes, I didn't know how many good ones were gonna pop up, and I left. Just put it in and left
I'm
it.
grateful that you did because thank you for doing the notes, Alex. Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, buddy. Number 3, Texas at Arkansas. Texas minus 13.5, over under 57.5.
I like Texas here.
57.5. Mom, don't give me a face
No, that was not. This was me thinking like I should want to be on Texas, but I don't know why I don't want to be on Texas.
because Arkansas catches teams. I don't know. I'm leery of Arkansas here. I think Texas wins, but 13.5 on an Arkansas team is. Ugh.
Uh, I'm curious.
You
I
want me
want
to
to see
keep
who
moving,
Texas.
or you want to?
Uh, why is this so difficult for me to
The
find?
over is interesting as well.
I'm curious who the rest of Texas's games are against after. So on the 23rd they play Kentucky. I was curious if they had a look ahead spot. I would definitely not put them on upset alert, but be more interested in Arkansas plus the points. But Texas plays Kentucky next week, so I'm gonna
I
stay
mean, I
away.
still think they could be on upset alert.
I'm not putting them on upset alert. I'm putting them on not cover alert.
Yeah, I don't know that they cover at all. Number 7 to Alex. What do you think about this one first? You got any takes on this one?
The Texas game.
Yeah.
I'm taking Texas.
You hammering it, are
Locked it
you?
in.
Yeah.
All
Jim,
right.
Jim, I just want you to be aware of what Alex has going on down here.
Oh, I see him. He's having a moment. He's doing his thing. He's still going to make it to the end, too. He might be razzled dazzled on himself. Who knows?
I encourage this. That's all I'm going to say.
I know you did, you cheeky bastard. Number 17, Clemson at Pitt. Clemson minus 10.5, over under 54.5.
It's 10.5 leads me to believe that Holstein is playing for Pitt. If not, I
I,
would expect this to be a larger line.
I don't really care who's playing. I think Pitt covers, or Clemson covers this, but I refuse to bet on a Dabo team, so I would bet on Clemson. I'm telling the viewers, Clemson is the smart money.
I mean, I would lean that direction as well, but I'm probably gonna stay away from that.
Yeah, if I was picking one of those, I'd go Clemson, but I agree. I'm also staying away.
Number two, Ohio State at Northwestern. Ohio State favored 28 and a half. Over under 43 and a half
Jim,
Playing at Wrigley Field,
at Wrigley Field. Uh,
where's your confidence lie this week, Jim?
I think they cover. I think they
You
cover.
think this is a blow away first half, coast in second half?
No, from from the Purdue game, I think that like Ryan Day's not letting off the throttle. Like especially on defense, I don't think he's 100% sure on the defense. I think also he's chasing stats for some of his players on offense. So I think they cover. Like I'm not making it my best bet because I don't do that, but I will have some side money on them to cover, especially when I get that Saturday morning bonus. Hopefully, hear that FanDuel. I will put some money on that. Anybody else?
No, I'm gonna stay away. Not because I don't think that they have the opportunity to cover, just because don't I'm not gonna be interested because Alex and I are gonna be hanging out doing our thing. So these noon games, actually any of these college football games, unless I'm feeling really, really about it, probably not gonna mess with them.
You're not gonna bet with any college games?
I did not say that.
What
I
did you
said
just hear,
I'm gonna have
Alex?
to feel supremely confident. There's not gonna be any uh, waffling picks in the college world this week.
You see how he's sitting back on us? You see that, right? That's that razzle dazzle bullshit. All right. Utah, number 18, Colorado. Colorado minus 11 and a half, over under 46 and a half. Muff.
This line is interesting because BYU was only favored by 2.5, and there is more confidence in Colorado against Utah than there was in BYU against Utah.
mm,
That, I think, says a lot about what the sports books feel about Colorado at home and whatever this matchup is, right? As far as like the styles, I feel like there's a style conflict here that they think heavily favors Colorado. That's too many points for me for a team that almost just beat an undefeated BYU team or one loss BYU team. Undefeated. Alex?
undefeated.
Undefeated. So I'm gonna stay away from that just because the line doesn't add up to me and I don't feel confident.
Don't do it, Alex. Whatever you're thinking about, stay away from the game.
I
Remember,
am.
thank you. All right, moving on. Coastal Carolina at Marshall. Marshall minus 8.5, over under 56 and a half.
This was just fun because it's Marshall and Coastal.
I know. And you put it in there, and I was like, ah.
I looked at it and I can't think of anything I feel confident enough to bet.
I will tell you that I will try to force this into the work bets tomorrow when we set them. I most definitely will try very hard
With a Marshall lean.
with a Marshall lean. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, Jim, just so we're clear, I can get Alex to put Utah plus 11.5 at about 11:15 on Saturday.
Alex, don't do it.
I
Let's
bet
go.
I can talk Alex into that one between the time of 11:15 and 11:45 a.m.
Don't do it, Alex. Be better. Virginia at number 8, Notre Dame. Notre Dame minus 22 and a half, over under 50 and a half. I want nothing to do with this game. I don't care. I would be thrilled if Virginia upsets Notre Dame.
I think you're thrilled if anybody upsets Notre Dame.
Yeah.
I think it's like sad Dabo, sad touchdown Jesus,
Yeah.
like in that order.
Yeah.
And then third is Michigan,
Yeah.
unless it's the week of the game.
Yeah.
All right.
You nailed that one right on the head.
This isn't sad Marcus Freeman. This is sad touchdown Jesus, though, right?
Correct. I don't hate Marcus Freeman. Just
Uh,
hate Notre
uh,
Dame.
I'm with you as far as I don't want to have any action on this game. I think Notre Dame wins by 2+ touchdowns, but I'm not confident they win by 3+ touchdowns.
No, me either. Alex.
I would lean with you guys.
Okay. Number 21, LSU at Florida. LSU minus 4.5, over under 44 and a half.
So this goes
54 and a
against
half, sorry.
what I had usually am saying like Florida in the swamp, Florida in the swamp, Florida in the swamp. I think LSU wins this game by a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way too.
I
And don't
I
be
was
wrong.
thinking it, you guys are saying it. That might be my first college bet. And Alex, the world is draining the swamp, so I don't know if the
Yeah.
swamp has the same
Oh
power.
my.
The Florida
Oh
swamp.
my.
The Florida swamp. I watched a
Muff
share
is
about a guy whose arm got bit off by
Muff's
a
feeling
cricket.
spicy today, motherfucker.
He is just stirring the pot.
Isn't he?
He's got a big old spoon.
Good grief.
How does
Boston
how does
College.
how does it feel, guys, to be on the other side of stirring the pot, which is usually both of
You
you
never stir
tag
the pot.
teaming against me in the pot stirring
Never,
situation?
never stir the pot. Always in
Boston
little
I
sunflowers.
am one human that's able to do this to both of you. How do you feel like I feel whenever it's both of you doing it to me?
We're usually innocent little sunflowers, so I'm not
we
really.
are. This is egregious. Boston College at number 14, SMU. SMU minus 18 and a half, over under 53 and a half. Yeah,
It's just too many points. SMU is just not a juggernaut to me, but damn, does it look enticing.
I tell you what, like as a statement win, I know like, oh, it's Boston College. I think if they did cover, there would be legitimacy for me in SMU. Like I'd be like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's just too many points.
Yeah.
Alex,
Yeah, I'm kind of with that too. But if it was like 14 and a half, I'd probably even think about that. And I'm not really sure why that makes a difference. But
Yeah, I agree with you.
all right, Buffs game.
Yeah, right. Penn State against Purdue. Penn
Snooze
State
face.
minus 28 and a half, over under 50 and a half.
just win, baby.
Is that really the mentality you have after Ohio State blanked them 45 nothing?
What do I care if at this
With
point
the
Penn State?
just win mentality?
Yeah, listen, Jim. They could win their next three games by a combined total score of not total score, but total differential of 3 points. We're in the playoff. I understand that does not put us in there feeling supremely confident about what's going on, but figure out how to win the next 3 weeks, get to the playoff, do your thing, host that first game. Let's give us a primetime whiteout because it won't be on Fox. Choo choo, hop aboard. Penn State wins. Don't care if they cover this week. Don't care. Don't care.
At least it's public knowledge. Muff does not care.
That's ridiculous. All right. Number 6,
You
Tennessee
guys
at
not have thoughts?
I think you're ridiculous. I think that's a stupid thought. I think that you should want Penn State to cover.
I didn't say I didn't want them to. I just said I'm not bothered if they don't.
I think Penn State does not cover because of Muff's attitude.
I think they might lose.
No, they're gonna win. No,
I
I'm not being like ridiculous, Jim.
I think they might get upset.
We can be trolls without being ridiculous.
I think they might get upset.
We're
Number
trolls, not the
6.
bridge trolls.
Number 6, Tennessee. And number 11, Georgia. Georgia minus 10 and a half. Over under 47 and a half.
Why? I like Tennessee here. I had this wrong.
What did you have wrong?
I in my notes. I
Yeah.
lean Tennessee in this.
I I also would be leaning Tennessee. Jim, you will probably get a boost for this game.
Yeah, probably.
There'll probably be some level of boosting. I don't know. It'll probably be something with make it like a 13.5 point line, get a boost on Georgia, or like a money line boost on Tennessee. Something stupid like that would be my guess. Um, Forced, I would take Tennessee plus the points or the over.
Alex, take over.
Okay. Uh, Next we have Baylor at WVU. Baylor is favored by 2.5 points over under 59 and a half.
We will be there, Alex. We will be there.
Yeah. I
I know
mean,
you're. I'm not going to bet it on either, but I will
I'm not
discuss.
I'm not betting on it. I don't fault people for taking WVU here, to be honest. I'm hoping because we haven't seen a WVU win yet. We technically they won when we played Kansas, but they were losing when we left.
True.
I mean, they have to give the home fans a win, right?
They need to give the home fans a win. Right.
Yes.
That just needs to happen. What's the weather look like? We're not going to get caught in any storms, are
I
we?
don't think so. I think it is chilly, but not rainy.
That's good to know.
I think I have ponchos just in case.
I'm not worried about the rain. I'm worried about lightning,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
right? We have yet to be able to sit through an entire, well, we,
No, we sat through Iowa
the
State.
Iowa State, most of the game.
Yeah, we left with pretty good. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to be rooting for WU. You know what I'm most interested in about this game, Alex, and has nothing to do with the score, the final score, or the betting?
but
The mood of the fan base, the mood of the people in our immediate area.
yeah,
I just want to see. I just want to observe. I want to be able to report later about the mood of Mountaineer fans in our vicinity.
I'm leaning towards taking WVU.
yeah, it's
Honestly,
Saturday's weather is a high of 57 with a 3% chance of rain. It says after a cloudy start, sunshine returns.
There's the
3%.
answer.
It'll probably rain and lightning.
Something bad will happen for us.
great guys. It's great.
Weather wise. All right. Next, we have Nebraska at USC. USC minus 8.5, over under 50.5. Any comment? We can roll past this one if you
Is
want.
Miller Moss even playing? Is he in the
As I mean,
portal? Like, I, I'm, I'm unbothered by this game. Don't care.
Hold on. USC was fined and gets probation, $50,000 fine, and placed on 1 year probation for on and off field coaching activities. Don't know if that will affect things, but
Probation, like,
it
what is it?
doesn't really go
It doesn't
into.
go into the details.
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, I would say a loss here and the probation, the seat gets warm.
I now understand why Miller Moss is seeking other pastures.
Right. Like,
If that is true, what I saw reported.
so,
Staying away, all the way
yeah.
away.
Yep. Yep. Missouri against South Carolina. South Carolina minus 12 and a half, over under 44 and a half. These two teams are two wild cards that like I no thank you.
I am taking Missouri here to cover.
Ugh, I
Alex,
need
I need to show some faithfulness to the Drinkowitz crazy dumb, and this is where I do it. Not to win, but to cover.
I don't think you're wrong, but again,
In
I
my
think
heart of
it's so
hearts,
crazy.
in my heart of hearts, it's saying, take Missouri. So I'm doing it.
in your heart of hearts, you know,
I haven't been using that phrase nearly enough lately, and I think
he's
that's the problem.
he's following his heart, Jim. Can we blame him?
No, I mean, like I said, I don't think he's wrong, but South Carolina shows up and it's over. Like Missouri's that coach thinks they're going to go to the playoffs.
Well,
I don't know, man. That's
it's
sketchy.
over like to his career with another concussion.
Yeah.
Over.
Or like Lizzo at a snack bar.
See, you're the one that's gonna get us in trouble. I just brought up her name. You're the one that's doing the shaming, sir. Just
Yeah,
want
it
to
could be.
make sure we have that clear. If we get any copyright strikes or anything, I blame
Like
Jim
maybe that's
instead.
what this podcast needs is just a full-on war with someone.
Don't know if that's the person we want to pick, Jim. Let's find someone else. Please and thank you.
More on our level. All right.
I
Getting out
mean,
of that
combined,
conversation.
she's on our level. Me and you, Muff.
All right. Arizona State at number 20, Kansas State. Kansas State is favored by 8.5 points
I,
over under 49.5. I
I
think
have to say something. Literally, topic of conversation in a professional development class today is on professionalism and ethical standards. And this is the type of information that Jim's going to spew in my presence.
I, I
I,
think
I can't get behind this, Alex. I have to report Jim myself.
I'm on a podcast with a
wait,
jackass.
let's report it to the producer of the podcast. Hey Muff, Jim said something here.
The HR arm is asking this to be discussed amongst the group later for appropriate punishment and disciplinary measures.
He's in trouble.
There is no appeal. The appeal is back to me. Our process
It's
and
a little
procedures are in
monopoly. This
question
feels like a
now.
monopoly.
This is this is a dictatorship, not a monopoly.
All right, penis
What game
potato.
are we
I
on
mean,
now?
who knows?
Arizona
Arizona
State at
State
Kansas.
at Kansas State.
Alex, what Kansas State team shows
Good
up?
Kansas State shows up this week. Give me Kansas State minus 8.5.
Jesus, Alex.
Good Kansas State shows up. Alex, I don't know if I can trust your good versus bad Kansas State
Yeah, I
takes.
don't know either.
I just wanted to know where you were leading. I can't do it. Sorry, buddy.
Well, I'm doing it.
Listen, you do you. You do
If you
you,
want to
boo.
go fast, go to what is it? If you want to go well, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. I don't know. I want to go fast.
All right, buddy. Now you're getting naked.
Wait, I need to understand where you heard
Enough.
that first.
What?
I understand in the context you heard that phrase first.
It's something about teamwork. If you want
Okay.
to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I don't want to go far. I want to go fast.
I think what you just said was not the same thing you said the first time, and it makes more sense to me now.
Yeah. Yeah. Number 13, Boise State at
That checks
San
out.
Jose State. Boise State minus 13.5.
Ooh.
61.5 for the over.
Okay. It's time for our weekly check-in here. Do we have lines for Ashton Genty touchdowns? Um, San Jose State, are they like not terrible?
I don't know.
FanDuel is loading. FanDuel is loading. I would lean Boise State to cover. I will not be taking it because they're away from the friendly confines of the blue turf. Top
Agreed.
25 matchups. Let me find.
I mean, San Jose State got beat to shit by Washington State. No, they didn't. They only lost by two. I take that back.
And Washington State is a top 25 team.
They beat Oregon State. They lost to Fresno State pretty handedly.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm not seeing any touchdown numbers for Ashton Genty here on FanDuel. FanDuel does not want to give up money for Ashton Genty touchdown scoring. Stupid FanDuel. Yeah, I'm gonna stay away.
yeah, me too. Oregon, Wisconsin. Oregon minus 14.5. Over under 51.5.
Huh.
Mm,
Huh. I'm gonna
Oregon should
lean.
cover this, right?
I mean, that's how I feel.
I am heavily leaning, and Oregon's playing hosting Washington next week. I'm gonna take Oregon to cover, boys. Lock it in.
Yeah, me too.
I don't even care that it's 14 and a half.
I don't even care.
I don't care. I don't give a.
Oh
Ooh,
boy. Oh boy.
We can go to Looney Bin together.
want to go. All right, I'm going. We're going far together.
Let's do it. Washington State at New Mexico. Washington State favored by 11 and a half over to 72 and a half. I have something to say.
Okay.
I have something to say.
How is Washington State not considered in a conference? because I listened to the ESPN, I listened to the college football playoff stuff, and they said Washington State is functioning as an independent. And therefore, if they win their conference and are one of the top five highest ranked, that will not be considered because they are not in a conference. Even though everything I see says they're still in the Pac-12.
I don't know, Muff. I don't try to iron that stuff out.
It
I'm gonna
seems
go to court.
incredibly prejudicial and unfair. But
Take it
just
to
because
court,
everyone left
Muff.
them alone in the Pac-12 with who are they with? There's only one other team, Oregon State. Then now they're just totally dismissed. I understand they're not a Power Four, but I feel like they're still in a conference. Just seems unfair. That's what I have to say.
If, I don't know, Muff. I don't know.
I have no opinion on this game. Aside from I want Washington State to win out and force somebody's hand.
I am going to take Washington State here. This is another in my heart of hearts. It says take Washington State. And it'll be a late night game. I might be a little tipsy and it'll give me something to get excited about.
That's true. This is one of those games, Jim, that Alex will talk about on the drive home, and there will be a bet placed somewhere between Waynesburg, Pennsylvania, and Claysville, Pennsylvania.
Fair enough.
And it will be locked in, and Alex will be like, "Yep, did it."
Yep, did it. I, I so I'm reading to go back to the Oregon game. I'm reading like three or four. I'm on my fifth site, and a lot of people point to Oregon not covering.
That's fine. I listen. I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm just gonna do
Some
it.
even putting him on upset alert.
I think that's a bit much. I understand based on their performance last week at Maryland, that people are thinking differently about Oregon, but I think this is a team that can turn it on when they need to, and I think this is one of those like, hey, we're gonna do this just to show everybody again, and then we're gonna kind of fade back until the Big Ten championship game.
Hmm.
I don't know how you like not know how, but I'm surprised that you are buying into this given how your state of Luke Fickle
Yeah,
confidence.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm
That's a
surprised that you're
great
buying into
point. That
that.
is a great point. That is an excellent point.
Just surprised that you're like, you know what? Maybe I agree with these people.
That is a great point.
Just need to remind you of your feelings on Luke Fickle this year.
That's a great point. That's a great point. All right. We got any more games left here.
Kansas at BYU.
BYU. BYU minus 2.5 over under 56.5.
I'm gonna stay away.
Yeah, me too.
We
Me too.
we got buried last week. I don't want to get buried again on BYU.
Agreed.
Uh, Alex, I honestly, and this is I'm not trying to bait you in anything, Alex. I'm surprised that you are not just full bore on BYU at all points now, just because of what happens if BYU loses a game or two, and what that does for Colorado's
Oh, I'm not
promises.
saying I'm not full board rooting for it. I'm just saying we got burnt
Yeah.
and have a lot going on. I'm
Well,
realizing that.
Hey, Muff,
yeah.
how do you feel about the over under on that Oregon Wisconsin game?
Honestly, I haven't paid enough attention to Wisconsin throughout the whole year to
What's
think
that break
about
down to, you think?
35-21. No,
32-18?
30. Yeah, like 31 to yeah, 31 to 16-ish. Does that math that up? What's the number here? What number am I looking at?
Mathin'?
My math didn't just math there. Yeah, you're looking at 35 to 35, 15-ish, somewhere in that range.
Oh,
It's not a clean number in this one. I feel like they just expect people to go for two a lot here, maybe.
All right,
That
go
make you
ahead,
feel
Alex.
make you feel any sort of way?
That game messes me up.
All right. All right, that wraps up our look into the college football world and brings us into our best bets.
I mean,
It
it's
does.
Alex. It's Alex, worst to best. Alex, you're up.
Technically, that is the rules, is it not? All right. I'm going to go with Texas minus 13 and a half at Arkansas to open up my week. LSU minus 4.5 at Florida. Missouri plus 12 and a half at South Carolina. Kansas State minus 8.5 versus Arizona State. Oregon minus 14 and a half at Wisconsin. Washington State minus 11 and a half at New Mexico. And then the NFL, I'm going to stick with the Lions.
Oh,
Victory.
Minus 13 and a half versus the Jags. Packers minus 5.5 at the Bears. And the Texans minus 7.5 at the Cowboys.
what was that, Jim? Talk about me doing
Hey,
voodoo magic.
hey, I'm just doing some thinking. That's all I'm doing.
You
Um,
you just took out the Colts.
yeah, I took it out. That
You,
don't mean I'm not going to bet on this. Is not one of my best bets.
you bought the crystals. You bought into the crystal magic.
I'm gonna take LSU minus 4.5 at Florida. Baylor or WVU plus 2.5 at Baylor. Um, ooh. Packers minus 5.5 at the Bears. 49ers minus 6.5 versus the Seahawks. Lions minus 13.5 at the Jags. Texans minus 7.5 at the Cowboys. And I'm gonna take Oregon minus 14.5 at Wisconsin and the over. As soon as I find it. Muff, would you like separate lines for that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right. What did you find that line?
Yeah.
What is it? The points.
51 and a half.
51 and a half. All right. My best bets for this week are LSU to cover. Wrong spot.
Oh, my
Wrong
fault, Muff.
spot.
My fault, Muff.
LSU minus 4.5 at Florida. Oregon to cover 14.5 traveling to jump around Wisconsin. Packers to cover 5.5 at Bears. Dolphins to cover 7 hosting the Raiders. 49ers to cover 6.5 hosting the Seahawks. And the Texans to take down the not so big, not so bad Cowboys in Monday Night Football covering 7.5 in Jerry World. Brings
I
into
like
our
it.
specialty picks, starting with the Mike Allstott Hit Stick Pick of the Week.
Pow, 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 pow.
Oh, we have a college common game. We have multiple college common games and a common NFL game. A common? We got multiple. We have two common games in college and in the NFL. In college, we all have the common pick of LSU to cover 4.5 at Florida and Oregon to cover 14.5 at Wisconsin. And in the NFL, we all have the Packers to cover 5.5 at the Bears and the Texans to cover 7.5 at the Cowboys.
Mm,
This could be narrow it to two and do a light flip.
I'm feeling
yeah.
good about the light.
Let's narrow it down to one college and one professional game.
Okay.
I would not, but all right.
What would you narrow it down to, Jim?
I like the NFL games.
See, I like LSU. I like Oregon.
Well, of
Yeah,
course we all
okay.
do.
I mean, I'll take the Oregon game if but
I
that's
didn't realize that was two that the only two you had, Jim Muff.
LSU, Oregon, Packers, and Texans. That's those are the common
hey,
games we all
hey,
have.
hey, I hate doing this, but the Texans line has moved
Two.
8.5.
Well, we got to make the change.
I mean, that's what I figured.
Him.
I know,
This is what
but like
happens. This is what happens. You look for line movement, Jim. It can hurt us or help us.
I know.
Well, I'm gonna go with Oregon or the Packers then.
I'm like the exact opposite. I still feel good about the Texans, and LSU would be my pick in the
Okay.
college world. Jim, what are your picks? Because
I
we can
like
use
the
that.
I like the Oregon game. And
Okay.
what's my NFL between the two you guys have picked?
Packers, Texans.
I'm pretty strong on the Packers on that one.
So we're gonna swap between Oregon and the Packers because you both have that on there.
Holy shit! I just got both of the Texans. I got the Texans at 7.5, and then I got the Texans at 8.5.
Well, yeah,
I must have bet like both lines.
apparently you did.
Really clicked it and then it changed.
And you clicked it again.
No, yeah, maybe. So what do I do?
I mean, we're at 8.5. That's we just confirmed that line.
So then I'm gonna cash out the 7.5.
If you or leave it
Why?
because
If you
cover
already
eight
have it
and a
at eight and a
half,
half, why are you going to cash out the 7.5?
you'll
That's
win.
fair. That's fair. That's fair.
You'll win two if you cover the 8.5.
No, I need my money. I need my
Wait,
money.
my Texans still say 7.5.
Where
Is
are
it
you?
moving it around?
I just logged in.
It just changed.
Calling a lot
Yeah,
of
now it's
you're calling a lot into question here, Jim.
now mine says 7.5.
You have a confirmed ticket at 8.5?
Oh, never mind. I have it at 7.5. It's back.
Was it ever not there?
It's back.
Do you have a ticket at 8.5?
No, I'd cash that out.
7.5 it is. That is the line in FanDuel right now.
Yeah.
Does that make you think differently, Jim? Are you still on the
I'm still on the
Packers?
Packers because I did the recon on that one.
Okay. Alex, who's the light? Packers or the Ducks?
Quack quack.
The light is the Oregon Ducks. Quack, quack away, boys.
Okay.
The hit stick
Okay.
pick is Oregon to cover 14.5 at Wisconsin. Next, the Midwest Mobster Risky Pick of the Week.
Get out of here. Can we
Mm,
do one that was not our best bets?
That's
yeah.
typically what we do because it's not often what
I'm strong on that. Alex mentioned it. The Steelers money line was not a bad call there.
we do some quick recon. I'm just tossing out options. This is not mean these are things that I'm saying we have to consider
Oh,
fully. Steelers money line, Bengals money line.
I don't mind that either.
line movement. I
W
officially am getting Missouri at plus 13.5.
Good for you. Good for you. Proud of you.
WVU money line, and that's where I stop.
All right, go back to all your the college.
Ste Steelers money line, Bengals money line, and
You said WVU.
WVU money line.
I'd feel better with Steelers or Bengals.
Jim,
I'm again hard on the Steelers.
They've won it for us
let's
in the past.
we
If you want to
have.
go to the light, you can
Do
go to
we
the
want to go
light.
to the light?
I'm not against that either. I like the light.
Jim, choose who's the light.
Steelers are the light.
It's the only time we're gonna hear Jim say that.
I like to hear it.
I
Joey B, it is.
demand a
Bengals.
reflip.
Well, if you wanted the Steelers, why didn't you just say the Steelers?
No, I'm good with that. I just wanted to get you juiced up. You can never go
Risky
against the
pick
light.
is the Bengals money line traveling to the West Coast. The light has picked both of these this week. I say because the light has had two picks already, the light could not be used in the parlay.
Fair
That's
enough.
ridiculous. That's a stupid rule, and I hate it.
I feel like we can't over rely on the light. Will not be
That'd
special
just be the
anymore.
light show, right?
Not be special.
All right.
Next in the sell the nutting team, Bob parlay.
Ah,
We already have Oregon locked in as the hit stick pick. Alex, you get to choose your pick first.
All right. Give me. I'm nervous.
I'm nervous.
Um,
I mean, you got tons to pick from, bud. You're
I
good.
know. I know.
You quite realize we have four common picks.
Packers.
This could be all four of our common picks in the parlay.
Well, I'm picking the Packers because I know you guys won't be mad at me for that one because
You're
you guys,
right. You're right.
So why are you worried about us being mad?
I just don't want to let the team down. I don't want to be the anchor that sinks it.
Jim,
I really was going to do the over, the Oregon Wisconsin over, but I don't want to be the prick, so I will do the
you're only a prick if it loses.
right,
Doesn't
right,
matter. It doesn't matter what pick it is.
right. Oh, buddy. Give me the Texans.
It takes Texans to cover 7.5 at the boys. I
Now you have to be the prick.
don't have to be the prick. I don't want to go with LSU. I'm going to go with the Dolphins to cover 7
Yep, you're the
against the
prick.
Raiders.
You are the prick.
Why?
Because of all games, that's the one. But like, ugh.
That's the one that you feel about.
Like the Niners game was sitting right there.
I have to hear shit from Alex all Saturday and potentially Sunday.
That's fair.
I didn't want to put Alex through that. You guys are telling me that I'm piling on the train right now that you guys didn't win, and if I did that, Alex would be like, oh, what you, of course you're gonna do that. You hate Geno Smith, and I'd be like, I don't hate Geno Smith. I just don't think he's gonna win.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
All right, that wraps up this week's episode of Sports Stuff Betting Stuff. As always, you can catch us on YouTube and on Facebook at Sports Stuff with Jim and Muff, at Sports Jim Muff on Instagram, and the Musk channel, Twitter, X,
What did you call it?
the Musk channel,
Elon. I
I
got
think we should stop using that
because
because it's just political dribble
um,
anymore.
promotes free speech amongst the masses.
Sure. Call it whatever you want. It's political dribble.
You can get all the political dribble you want after a great day of betting that leads to a fantastic meal at a steakhouse, and you can dribble, dribble, dribble all the way to a
Payday, I guess.
it.
Shit.